The bell has rung. We kick things off tonight with a continuation of round one in the MAWA Garden State Cup tournament. At the last event, Marvelous and Semi Alfazi punched their tickets to the semifinals. Now tonight, it's Pat Dynamite taking on the Focus Nick Battee, and the winner advances to face Marvelous at MAWA's next event, the November to Remember, Craig.
Yeah, personally, I think Pat Dynamite has way too many belts as it is, so I'm rooting for Nick Battee here. He is the Focus. He is a newcomer in this promotion, but I expect big things from the Focus Nick Battee.
Nick Battee walks into every match like the spotlight already belongs to him.
Because it does. It does. Look, it's shining off. And can't you see the glare from the spotlight?
Cannot deny the collar and elbow tie-up, pushing Pat Dynamite to that corner, and now he's working on that shoulder.
The old Pat Dynamite wouldn't have been taking control so easily. Look at Billy Gold took all of the passion, all of the zing, all of the desire to win out of Pat Dynamite. He's just going through the motions right now, in my opinion.
From Pat Dynamite off the ropes, down to a toe hold. Pat Dynamite represents the definition of a workhorse here in professional wrestling.
You're calling him a horse?
10 years of experience, championship after championship, and somehow he's still fighting, Craig, like he has something to prove.
Yeah, he has to prove that he's still relevant in this business, because after 10 years, he's starting to wear thin. He's starting to get tired easier, and he's going to fall prey to Nick Battee tonight. That's
Nick Battee grabbing that bottom rope, escaping that submission hold. What a beautiful submission hold that was. That could have ended this match in no time had Battee not reached for that bottom rope.
I will give you credit. That was a beautiful submission hold, but again, the old Pat Dynamite would have ended the match like that.
Now, Craig, you don't become the Pro Wrestling Unplugged World Champion by accident. Pat Dynamite has earned that title through years of sacrifice, consistency, and outworking everybody put in front of him.
I don't know about everybody. You know, sometimes okay, I'll tell you this. Pat Dynamite, great athlete.
Yes.
He could be better.
What do you mean?
He's taken a few steps backward after falling under the hypnotized
Hypnotized? What are you talking about?
Billboard Billy Gold has hypnotized him to being a goody two-shoes.
Billboard Billy Gold has reminded Pat Dynamite to be the Pat Dynamite of old. Be hungry, be willing to wrestle, and that's exactly what he's doing here tonight. What way to prove that he is the old Pat Dynamite, the workhorse, trained by Jimmy Rave, than to win this Garden State Cup tournament and advance.
Max, who's in control of the match now?
Right now, it's the Focus Nick Battee.
I rest my case. Pat Dynamite is crawling to a corner. Would the old Pat Dynamite have done that? No. Pat Dynamite being choked on the ropes by Nick Battee. I think he's asking the fans for help. The old Pat Dynamite would not have done that.
Nick Battee is cocky, he's loud, he's disrespectful. But like I said before, that confidence can be dangerous when that bell rings. Off the ropes and using the ring to his advantage. Beautiful elbow drop. Could this be it? 1, 2.
Oh, that was too slow a count. Too slow a count. Nick Battee should have won that match.
Nick Battee, he is the Focus. He's been at a MAWA event before. He wants to win this MAWA Garden State Cup tournament. Now, remember, whoever wins this tournament takes home this beautiful gold trophy right here in front of us. And not only that, Craig, they have a #1 contender shot at the MAWA Championship.
You have to say, woo, I'm trying to get chopped. You know, that's a rule.
Let's go, bring him out. Yeah.
There, exactly. Now, look at how well Nick Battee is doing. The old Pat Dynamite seems to have lost a step after being talked to, if you will, by Billboard Billy Gold.
Now, you can't count Pat Dynamite out. This man has been through battles. Battles against people like Declan Grant. Battles against Billboard Billy Gold. This man is 10 years of experience, trained, like I said, by Jimmy Rave. He knows stuff nobody else knows. You cannot cut Pat Dynamite short.
Oh, you mean as short as you?
Craig, you know.
Yes, I know.
I know. You told me you were going to be professional throughout this broadcast.
I am.
And
just like you were last time, cursing me out. Okay. But getting back to Pat Dynamite, there's no doubting his tremendous wrestling abilities and how good he is in the ring now. But who has been in control for about 80% of this match?
Nick Battee with that abdominal stretch.
Exactly. Nick Battee has been in control for most of this match. Pat Dynamite seems to have lost some of that aggression that he used to have.
That abdominal stretch is locked in, and this Summerdale crowd is feeding momentum to the one Pat Dynamite.
Well, I will say this, Pat Dynamite definitely has the crowd behind him.
But is that enough to feed momentum in this battle?
I'll answer that. No, it's not. Look who's still in control here.
Somebody's got to make that hip toss. Oh my goodness!
It's going back and forth here.
It's an elbow to the chest. Chop. Oh my goodness.
My chest hurts just hearing that.
Another chop from Pat Dynamite. Spanky's in the way. You gotta watch out.
I don't mind if they hit Spanky, that's okay.
And now Pat Dynamite is in control of this match.
He couldn't get off of him. The referee had to be harsh and remove him from the corner. Pat Dynamite was being too aggressive, not following the rules.
The Pat Dynamite of old. Listen to this crowd. Dynamite, Dynamite. Will this be the momentum? Beautiful kick to the corner that Pat Dynamite needs. Down goes Battee. What were you saying, Craig?
I think Pat Dynamite is finally starting to channel the old Pat Dynamite, the one who didn't listen to Billboard Billy Gold.
Nick Battee with all that confidence and cockiness, he needs to answer to Pat Dynamite's resume that demands respect. Beautiful shining wizard. Could that be it? 1, 2, shoulders are down. No!
Oh, Nick Battee barely kicking out of there. There's no denying Pat Dynamite's wrestling ability. I'll give him that. But still, his attitude needs adjusting.
Nick Battee wants nothing more than to win this match, and so does Pat Dynamite. It's a battle of who wants it more. The winner advances to the semifinals to face Marvelous at the November to Remember here in Summerdale. Beautiful chop to the chest.
It's interesting you brought that up. It's who wants it more. Pat Dynamite has so many honors, has won so many titles.
Beautiful.
Is he getting complacent, would you say?
Going for a slingshot suplex? No. The focus off the ropes. And a kick to the face. Down goes Pat Dynamite. Referee 1, 2.
That was barely a kick out. Personally, I think Nick Battee should have covered him just a second quicker, and we'd be seeing it a winner right now.
That could be true. But let's be honest about this, Craig. What a way to open up MAWAPALOOZA 8 than with these two gladiators battling for the semifinal.
I agree with you there, Max. These are two tremendously talented athletes in the ring.
The focus sizing up his opponent.
You could say he's focusing on his opponent, Max.
That's true. Pat Dynamite in trouble. Uranagi. Reversal. Backslide. 1, 2.
Look at all of these different submission
Going for a
holds.
mousetrap. 1, 2. No.
All these different pinning combinations by Pat Dynamite. Amazing.
Uranagi. Reversal. Rock and rave. Rock and rave.
Uh-oh, I think this could do
1,
it. Oh, no.
2, 3.
Oh, no.
Pat Dynamite is the winner of the match.
Pat Dynamite! And he advances in the Garden State Tournament.
Pat Dynamite goes on to the semifinals for the November to Remember, facing Marvelous.
I was rooting for Nick Battee. I really thought that Nick had this in the bag. But you know,
What a way to open up this event, Craig.
all credit to Pat Dynamite. He wrestled his butt off. He worked really hard. I still don't like his new attitude.
Oh, look at the ring! Look at the ring!
Oh my God!
It's the posse!
Not that.
Ring the bell! Somebody put your ear to this! God! Oh no!
Where's that loudmouth brat? Where's that brat that was giving me a hassle earlier about my pink suit? I want you to take a look at what we're doing at Pat Dynamite, because later tonight, the God of Dabon is going to take Billy Gold. He's going to destroy his soul. He's going to break his bones. He's going to make him hurt.
Oh
And
my
I
God,
promise
Pat
you, young
Dynamite's in
man,
trouble.
We're going to make you cry.
Pat Dynamite. Oh my goodness, the original MF. Adding insult to injury, taking down Pat Dynamite, Greg.
There's
This
no need
is
for
disgusting.
This. There's no need for this.
This is disgusting. Pete Carter is disgusting. Listen to that.
You know what?
It's the Italian Tank with Billboard Billy Gold.
This is the only time that I'm glad to see big Billboard Billy Gold come out. You know what? You know why Pete's Posse did that? To get under the skin of Big Board Billy Gold. It's a psychological tactic. As much as I despise them, as much as I can't stand
Look
Pete's
at this
Posse,
trio in the ring. The Italian Tank has history with Brian Murphy. He hates Brian Murphy's guts, and so does Brian Murphy hate the Italian Tank. I am so happy to see the Italian Tank come to the aid of Pat Dynamite. This is what it's all about. Wrestling brings people together. That is the definition of wrestling, not Pete's Posse.
yeah, I have to agree with you, Max. I do not want Pete's Posse to take over this promotion, so as much as I hate to say it, thank you, Billboard Billy Gold.